Howdy, howdy, Devil here, and welcome to another online ladder battle with the Dowie versus the Dark Elves. So, haven't really made any builds for this yet, but I just thought I would bring a fairly fun build. I have for my front line, a pretty basic front line, just long beards with one chevron. I think I have five. Yep. And in my backline, this is kind of the feature of the build, is 5 units of bolt throwers. Now, these bolt throwers are really just for Harganeth executioners to wear them down before they get to my front line. And ultimately, also if he has some cavalry or anything like that. For my second line, I do have 2 units of Bugman's Rangers, and on the edges I have a group of Slayers on each edge, again for Cav, that sort of thing, and the Dragonback Slayers in the back. And for my Lord, I do have a Rune Lord with the Locus of Power for that 15% magic resistance in case he has lots of spells or this type of thing. Just a really basic army. But really the feature is the bolt throwers for the Harganeth executioners. For my opponent's army, I might as well just hit play. He has on this edge a Reaper bolt thrower, and he has Malekith on a chariot. He has Gaze of Malice, a breath spell, Soul Stealer, Chill Wind, Spiteful Conjuration, murderous prowess, and those sorts of things, and he does cause fear. For his front line, he has some basic bleak swords. So he has, I think, 6 of these guys, or 5. Just 5. And he does have some Harganeth executioners. He has 3 of those. No, 4. So he has 6 bleak swords and 4 Harganeth executioners. He does have some dark shards with shields. 2 units of those, and he has over here a Reaper bolt thrower. So immediately I'm going to take some shots at his Reaper bolt thrower until his Harganeth executioners get into range, and then I'm going to shoot his Harganeth executioners. I am going to try and crossfire, so I will try and take this bolt thrower right now and shoot to my left, and take these bolt throwers at some point and shoot to my right. So as they come into my line, I will still be able to get shots. I'm going to start with my Bugman's Rangers. I just want to get some early shots as they come in. I don't really have that many good targets for my Slayers. I am going to send them after Malekith, and then eventually their Reaper bolt throwers. He doesn't have any Cav or anything like that, so I will send these Slayers eventually after this Reaper bolt thrower just to get it out of the way, and I'll just try and keep my units online. So he has gone for a spell against my Bugman's Rangers. It did very little damage, and these guys are going to regenerate quite nicely. So I have engaged in the front line against these bleak swords. Bringing these Harganeth executioners behind is going to be tough. I have taken them down with my Reaper bolt throwers. I am going to try and now retarget my bolt throwers a little bit, and eventually I will open this lineup. I'm going to move these guys back a little bit so that I can shoot into those Harganeth executioners. I am bringing my Slayers out to here. He's targeting one of these dark shards, and I'm not really targeting back. Here's another spell. Basically does very, very little. He is bringing Malekith into my back line. I'm going to try and send my Rune Lord after him, and then my Dragonback Slayer. So again, very, very little damage. So I'm going to send my Dragonback Slayers after Malekith, and they will slow him down a little bit. And I've already got these Slayers going after that Reaper bolt thrower. He is targeting me with his dark shards. I do have my Bugman's Rangers and a couple of my bolt throwers on these Bugman's Rangers, and I'm getting rid of them quite quickly. And I do have a bolt thrower on these dark shards as well. So these Slayers will make it. Of course, they're unbreakable. So he's trying to just run around my back line and get these bolt throwers offline. But eventually I'm going to catch him. Now he has a speed of 66, and if I can catch him with these Dragonback Slayers, he's doing a good job of microing him away. I will slow him down. I'm just trying to reposition my Bugman's Rangers. I'm going to take these. Maybe we'll get a close-up of these Slayers doing their job. Love it. They will very quickly take these guys out. They're going to try and rout, but they're not going to get anywhere. I am actually going to slaughter them all. I know they are shattered, and then I'll bring these Slayers back. I have got my other Slayers almost to his other Reaper Bolt Thrower. He is starting to break through my line because he was able to get these Harganeth Executioners right in, so these Longbeards they're gonna hold. So I'm gonna bring my Bugman's Rangers around to this side. He has broken my line on this side. He has Harganeth Executioners there, and he's broken through in the front with these Harganeth Executioners as well. So I'm going to try and just shoot into the Harganeth Executioner. So I have Bleak Swords. I think I'm going to re-aim for those Harganeth Executioners, constantly changing my focus from my Bolt Throwers and shooting into these Harganeth Executioners. Now he is going to cast a spell on these Bugman's Rangers and charge them, but they do have charge defense against large, and then I'll be able to get my Slayers in, so he's going to move those guys away and eventually get his Harganeth Executioners on my Bugman's Rangers. I have my Longbeards coming back to take these Dark Shards, and these Slayers are on the long road back to help reinforce my line. My Lord is fighting I think Harganeth, no, Bleak Sword, so he'll do just fine with that fight, and I am able to get these Harganeth Executioners routed with my Bugman's Rangers, chasing these guys off of my Longbeards. Now definitely starting to take the lead. I've got my Slayers constantly on Malekith here. Now he is going to engage my Bugman's Rangers with these Harganeth Executioners. Eventually I'll change some of my Reaper. Yeah, I have one Reaper Bolt Thrower just shot into there. So there we go. We have another shot I think should be coming in here pretty soon into the back of these Harganeth Executioners. My Bugman's Rangers will do... Wow, they're not going to do great. They're going to lose, but they'll hold. They'll hold for a while. I just want to keep chasing Malekith. I have routed these guys, or these Bleak Swords. Maybe they're chasing someone. They will come back. But I got the battle mostly wrapped up. Now there's still a minute left. But obviously I've got a lot of troops left. Especially I have these Reaper Bolt Throwers. So I'm going to start targeting these Harganeth Executioners. We'll see if we can get a nice shot of a bolt coming in. There we go. It's exactly what I want to see. I'm just holding them still with my Slayers. I know my Slayers aren't a good pick for the Harganeth Executioners, but I just want to take shots with my Reaper Bolt Thrower. Basically free shots in there, and here comes another one as I target them down. Malekith is on my Bugman's Rangers, and I'm just trying to keep everyone else routing and slowly retargeting everyone. I just want to make sure any unit that is still routing will stay routing. So I'm shooting them by Reaper Bolt Throwers as they run away, and I want to get my Rune Lord over here. I just want to get Rune of Wrath and Ruin, Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin on him to slow Malekith down so my Slayers can catch up to him. Have been able to pull my Bugman's Rangers out, and I will eventually target them back on Malekith, but most of his units are now routed, so I'm just really sorting out where everybody is. My Bugman's Rangers have run out of ammo, so I'm just going to send them straight into these Bleak Swords, and that's about it. So we have 17 seconds. Malekith is going to make one last charge for my Bugman's Rangers, and we'll shoot him in the face as he comes, our brave Dawi, and that is about it. So a fairly straightforward fight. These Reaper Bolt Throwers actually did pretty good, like 45, 76, 54, 109 kills, and 45. And again, I was targeting his Harganeth Executioners. You can see the ones I hit early, 23 and 42 kills. And these are the guys that I didn't really whittle down with my Bolt Throwers before they got there. They got 88 kills, and these guys got 65. His Bolt Throwers got a few kills, but my Slayers went and did their job and chopped them up. Bleak Swords, 21, 20, 22, 7, 11, and 19. Not too bad for a weaker unit, and really there to just allow the Harganeth Executioners basically a free charge. Now my Longbeards did 43, 88, 43, 158 kills. Again, they're fighting mostly Bleak Swords at the beginning, and then Harganeth Executioners. And my Bugman's Rangers, 38 and 45, did a good job, and they still have lots of health, actually. It's really nice. Only 6 kills for my Rune Lord, but he wasn't focused at all, and 20, 31, 49 for my Dragonback Slayer. So, I have done a little bit of testing I guess a preliminary testing for my Essential Units series against the Dark Elves. And I do know, like, if you're the Dowie, you're playing the Dark Elves, you're going to see Harganeth Executioners. They are so strong, especially against the Dowie. You could go another way, with lots of hammers or kind of a really more elite front line. But then you really do have to worry about these Dark Shards. And, even the Reaper Bolt Throwers. And they do have Missile Cav, the Dark Elves, with armor piercing. So once you start to go to units without shields that are a little more beefy, you do give the Dark Elves a very, very good target for their spells. You can see in this army, most expensive thing I had is Dragonback Slayers. Not a whole lot of great targets. And yeah, these guys are armor piercing, but when they're shooting Slayers don't have armor, so that seems to work out well. I really wasn't able to slow down and catch Malekith on his chariot. He was able to pull through and sort of get around on my backline. He did get 56 kills, so we got some stuff done, but the spells did very, very little, as you saw in that fight, because we had the Locust of Power with our Rune Lord, and we have a natural 25% magic resistance. So just with that and the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin, it's a very cheap way to bring a Lord that can have a pretty solid effect on the battle. Yeah, really fun match, quick match. Thanks to Iro for the game. If you liked it, subscribe, comment. I love comments. I'd definitely like to hear other people's experiences playing the Dwarfs against the Dark Elves. I eventually will be finishing my Essential Units series on them. I kind of moved on to the Beastmen because I think they're the hardest faction for the Dowie to face, so I've done more in-depth testing with them. I'll probably be releasing it once I get time to go through the data and sort of that kind of thing. But yeah, definitely like to hear your experiences. These Reaper Bolt Throwers, really good anti-infantry actually, and they're cheap, $550. So this is a really interesting unit that I'm liking more and more. I've had a few guys suggest to use them, and I definitely am enjoying them as a very inexpensive medium range unit that's good against infantry and is anti-large. It's, you can whittle down dragons or flying units, and they have been kind of fun. So 5 probably too many, but I just thought it would be a kind of a fun build. Really, I was thinking in terms of having a bolt thrower with each Longbeard and to face up against a Harganeth Executioner. So 1 bolt thrower and 1 Longbeard per Harganeth Executioner. They're about the same value. 650 and 550 is 1100, and I think the Harganeth Executioners are 1150, something like that. So that was kind of my thinking on that, with just support units on the outside. So fun match. Hope you enjoyed it, found it interesting, and I will see you soon.